Welcome back to another video on the channel. In this video I'm going to be previewing the Women's US Open 2020, which starts in just a matter of hours. Similar to the men's, I've also done a men's preview and prediction as well, so if you do want to check that out, it's already on the channel. But there's obviously notable absentees again on the women's side of the draw. The world number 1 and 2 are both skipping the US Open. Ashley Barty and Simona Halep. Also Svitolina, Andreescu, Bertens and Bencic are missing out, which is a massive shame, but we're still going to have a fantastic event. And when I was looking at the sort of players I wanted to talk about, the people who I think have got the most chance of winning this event, it's very hard to whittle it down to 4 or 5. There's 16, 18 players in the draw that'll fancy the chances this week, and I haven't even given a mention to players like Petra Kvitova and Angelique Kerber, who are former Grand Slam champions. But these WTA events are always wide open. We've got so many fantastic young and old players, experience and youth. I think there's a perfect balance between that at the minute in the WTA, and the matches are just getting better and better. The players are hugely talented and all capable of beating each other with the hitting power that they've got from the back of the court, and we've got so many different styles of women's players now. There's some perfect matchups, and there's going to be some fantastic matches over the next 2 weeks. I think Halep and Barty are probably two of the most consistent players in the world over the past 2 or 3 years, which makes it even harder to pick a winner. You could usually pick one of them to reach a semi-final or final because of their consistency and ability to play on all courts. But yeah, as I say, we are guaranteed some fantastic 50-50 matches, and whoever plays the best tennis across the 2 weeks will come out the winner. And this is why the WTA is so exciting at the moment. There's nobody dominating events. You look on the men's side, and the big three have won next to nearly every slam for the past 8 to 10 years. On the WTA, there's been so many different Grand Slam winners. In the past 5 or 6 years, we've had Sofia Kenin, the Williams sisters, Osaka, Kvitova, Muguruza, Kerber, Ostapenko, Stevens. There's been so many different Grand Slam winners, and it makes always for a fantastic tournament. So first off, just looking at a few of the players who are most likely to win the event, starting off with Pliskova. A lot of people do believe she's the best player currently playing the WTA not to win a Grand Slam. She's won 16 titles. And yeah, she's always competitive at Grand Slams. She just hasn't quite had that breakthrough win yet. I think she just needs that one win that could probably kickstart her Grand Slam career. She's never really produced the best tennis in the biggest stages of semi-finals and Grand Slams. In a 6'1", obviously she possesses that strong serve, big forehand, ability to serve and volley and keep the point short. And it's probably a weapon, I believe, that she doesn't use enough. She's actually working with Danny Valverde now, who is former coach of Stan Wawrinka and Andy Murray, who are both former Grand Slam champions, and perhaps he can be the difference that she needs. She's certainly got the playing ability, she's consistent, and she's won, as I say, 16 titles, so she's certainly capable. I think it's just a mental thing for Pliskova, perhaps a new introduction into her camp, from a coach who's coached former Grand Slam champions. Perhaps he can just give her that slight difference and slight positivity going into big matches. That could be all the difference, but she's really not far away, and to see her in a final or win this tournament would be very nice. I think she's a player that does deserve to win a Grand Slam, and I'm sure she will one day. So perhaps with the absentees of Barty, Halep, Svitolina, Andreescu, perhaps this is one of the best chances she'll get. So I'm sure she'll be looking to make a big run this week. Sofia Kenin, Australian Open 2020 champion, beat Coco Gauff, Ashley Barty and Garbina Muguruza. The mental strength she displayed for a young player was fantastic all throughout the tournament, really. All-round game is solid, consistent, she's superb under pressure. I talk about this game many times in my videos. In that game against Muguruza in the final, I think we were level in the deciding set, and she was love 40 down. Muguruza looked on the verge of getting a break and probably winning the match, and Kenin rattled off 5 winners in a row, and I think from that point on the writing was on the wall. She knew she was going to become Grand Slam champion. She's just playing that well. She followed it up with another tournament winner, Leon. Didn't have the ideal preparation for this event, losing the first round of the previous tournament, Cincinnati Open against Elise Cornet. So it's not perfect preparation, but I think Kenin will bounce back. She's too good of a player not to, and as I say, the mental strength that she's got, and now that she's a Grand Slam champion, she's got that winning experience, could stand her in good stead. But she's a player I think will be bang there at the end of next week. Serena Williams, a player that is obviously chasing greatness, one behind Margaret Court on the all-time Grand Slam list. And she's similar to Djokovic in this event in the fact that a couple of her main days are out, so she's got that added incentive. It's no doubt an easier opportunity to win a Grand Slam. There's still, as I say, many fantastic champions in the draw. But when the world number 1 and 2 out, it must give her extra confidence. And it's Serena Williams in the draw. She's always a danger. She's got lots of young challengers, as I say, but she's got the added advantage of experience, and she'll want to lay down a marker before presumably she heads to the French Open as well. We all know what Serena Williams is like. She's got that incredible serve, power, mental strength, the ability to come from behind, and just an incredible champion really, who continues to produce year upon year. She hasn't had the best past 18 months, losing in a couple of finals. But as I say, while the Williams sisters win the draw, they're always a danger, and it'll be a brave person to bat against Serena Williams adding another Grand Slam title. Naomi Osaka, what a week she had last week. Unfortunately had to pull out of the final with a hamstring problem, which meant Victoria Azarenka won the title in Cincinnati. But a fantastic week, I think, in total. I mentioned last week in my video that I think the lockdown period is probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Naomi Osaka. Tennis is a sort of unforgiving sport in the sense that it's a long season. The tournaments come thick and fast. You don't really get time to take a break and reassess and analyse what's going wrong in your career and why you're not getting the results that you were in the past. And I think this 6-month break for Osaka is probably give her time to reflect, analyse what was going wrong, why she was falling apart during sets and just giving games away like she was. She looked a player back to her best last week, in my opinion. Ruthless ball striking from the back of the court, hitting winner after winner, and also coming a lot better mentally. If playing a bad point, is sort of reassessing, taking a couple of seconds just to compose herself and then go again. She recovered well when losing games on the spin. She was 2-0 down in a set down to Annette Kontaveit before rattling off 6 games in about 15 minutes. Some of the best hitting I've seen in a long time, particularly from Osaka. But she's a player that's got everything in the book. We know she broke through in the US Open 2018, won that title, beating Serena in the final, then went on to back it up and won the Australian Open in 2019, winning back-to-back slams. I think at that point she was hyped up to sort of be the next champion, chasing down Serena Williams in her next 10 or 12 years and being the world number 1 for a long time, becoming the new face of women's tennis. And I think she's a player that sort of struggled to deal with that fame and pressure. She's dropped down to 10th in the world, but I think Osaka is just a player that likes to just focus on tennis, just do her talking on the court, and to see her back playing last week as good as she can. You realise how good a player she is, and still at just 22 years old, she's an outstanding young talent who will no doubt be back winning titles and Grand Slams very soon. I do think Osaka's got a fantastic chance next week. If it wasn't for the injury, she probably would have been my pick to win the event. You don't know how bad the hamstring problem is. Hopefully it was just a precaution while she pulled out of Cincinnati, and she's had a couple of days to rest and recover before her first round match today. I guess we'll see today how fit she is, but hopefully the hamstring holds up and she has a good week. But she probably would have been my pick to win the event on the back of her performances in Cincinnati, but with the hamstring problem, you just don't quite know how fit she is. But if she does turn up at 80, 90%, 100%, and can get through the early rounds quick, she'll definitely be there in the semi-final or final. Madison Keys is a player who's capable of fantastic tennis in the US Open that we've seen before, reaching the final in 2017, but she hasn't had again the best year, but she's always a capable player that can throw up a surprise. She's a bit hit or miss, on her bad days she seems to give games away, makes far too many enforced errors, but on a going day, on a fast hard court, she can really light up the court and blow anybody off the court. Moving on to Coco Gauff, she played well in Lexington, reaching the semi-finals. She beat Arina Sabalenka and Ons Jabeur for Coco Gauff, we all know the sky's sort of the limit for her. You know, the athleticism, speed, defence, the mentality. If she's a player that can stay fit and maintain a solid team, the potential there is massive. I think the fast courts will probably suit Coco in the US. You know, as I say, she's immensely quick around the court. She's got great speed, great defence, good counter puncher. I think she likes the pace in the ball, so I think she's a player that could make a good run next week. Is due to face Venus Williams, I think, again in round 3, which would be quite strange that she's faced her in 3 Grand Slams already and she's still just 17-year-old. But yeah, she's a player that, you know, everybody can't wait to watch. The ability and tenacity that she's got at that age is quite incredible to watch, really, and she's a player that will attract a huge audience every time she steps on the court in the US. Jennifer Brady won the title in Lexington without dropping a set. She looked fantastic, obviously an American as well. You know, like, loves the hard court, and she beat Barty Svitolina Muguruza already in 2020. It's definitely the best year of her career, and she'll be looking to make a big run. So what can be verdict, as I say, there's a lot of players there who haven't talked about, the likes of Kvitova and Kerber, Ostapenko, Sloane Stephens. Any of them are capable of turning up and having a fantastic run at a slam like this. I think Jennifer Brady will have a big week. Obviously Serena, you can't bat against her. You know, she's going to be there fighting hard as she always does at the slams. As I say, Osaka on the back last week probably would have been my pick to win the event. She's a player that I just think is the best player in the world on a hard court on a day, but you don't know how the hamstring is. So my tip to win the event will be Sofia Kenin. I was just so impressed by her in the Australian Open, and she'd be looking to go back to back at slams. Also, being an American, she'd love to win the US. And I just think her mental strength and attitude and ability to fight against the top opponents and beat them like she did Barty and Muguruza in Australia, I just think that'll stand in good stead. She's got that winning experience now, which is massively important. She knows how to win a slam and manage her way through them. And I just think she's a young player that's destined for massive things in the game. Yeah, I think her mental strength will do as much for us what her on-court ability will. You know, her ability to fight during the matches and play every point as it comes is, I think, a massive weapon for Kenin. And although it's a wide open event, you know, it's very difficult to predict the winner. I do think Kenin will go very close, and I'd like to see her win the event. But yeah, it's day 1 today, live on Amazon Prime for 2 weeks. So if you are tuned in, do enjoy the tennis. I will be doing a video every day pretty much throughout the event, just talking about the previous day's play and also looking ahead to that day's play. So yeah, round 1 today starts around 4 o'clock UK time, so if you are watching, please enjoy. But there's some fantastic matches today, and we also do have Jo Konta against Heather Watson, which will be a great round 1 match. So we will have a Brit in round 2. But thanks for watching the video. Please do subscribe. I will be, as I say, doing a video every single day covering the US Open. So let me know in the comments below who your predictions are to win the events, and I will see you on the next video.